Did the Israelis live in Egypt? And do they have any right to claim it? Today we are answering it not with emotion and not with propaganda, but with history and fact. First, we need to know how they entered Egypt. It's all start from Canaan, which is in modern day Palestine, and there lived the prophet Jacob, also known as Israel, who had 12 sons. One of them was Joseph, deeply loved by his father, but his brothers got jealous and threw him in a well, then lied to their father and said to him, "Wolf, eat him." Joseph was found and sold as a slave and taken to Egypt. He ended up in the house of high official known. His name is Al-Aziz. Later, Joseph was falsely accused and thrown into the prison. But God gave to him a wisdom. He interpreted the king dream about a coming famine. So the king freed him and made him minister of food and resources. Then the famine struck. Joseph's brothers came to Egypt for help, not knowing they were standing in front of their brother. Eventually, Joseph revealed it himself and invited Jacob and all his family to move to Egypt. They entered Egypt as a refugee, fleeing hunger. The Israelis were guests. They lived in Egypt for a while, but that doesn't make it their land. But what happened next? Over the years, their numbers grow. A new pharaoh come to power and he feared them. He began oppressing and enslaving them, forcing them into hard labor and ordering the murder of every newborn Israelite boy. But in that time Musa was born. His mother hid him. Then following divine inspiration, put him in the basket in the Nile. The basket reached Pharaoh's palace, and the queen found the baby, and she said that she will raise him. So Musa grew up in the house of Pharaoh, not knowing he was Israeli. One day he saw an Egyptian attacking a Hebrew man. Musa intervened and accidentally he killed the Egyptian man. And because of his afraid, Musa fled to Midian, and there God speak to him. He speak to him to go back to Pharaoh. Musa returned back to Egypt, calling Pharaoh to worship God. He showed him many miracles, but Pharaoh called him a magician. Eventually, God commanded Musa to take the Israelis to leave Egypt in secret. Musa led his people to go out from Egypt. But when Pharaoh heard about it, he chased them with his army. They reached the sea, terrified and trapped. But Musa stood feared and said, "My God with me, he will guide me." God commanded Musa to cross the sea, and the sea split in two. The Israelites walked through dry land between two massive walls of water. Pharaoh followed, and when last Israelite exit the sea, the water crashed back down. Pharaoh drowned. He tried to repent in his last breath, but it was too late. Today we will save your body, so may a sign for those who come after you. But what Torah say about these stories? Torah say the land God promised is Canaan, which means Palestine and Jordan and part of Syria, not Egypt. So why claim about Egypt? It is a political lie. They already took Palestine and now they want more. It is using religion and the stories of prophets to justify their expansion. But the truth is, they entered Egypt as a refugees. They lived there under oppression and slavery, and they left by God's command. Finally, Egypt has always been for the Egyptians, the people of Nile, the pharaohs, the builders of civilization. Joseph lived there as a minister. Musa preached there as a prophet, and the Israelis were a guest